Hi and welcome. Welcome to the Red Wagon Estate Planning and Elder Law Show, hosted by me, yours truly, Jeffrey Belomo, where we talk all things estate planning and elder law, and, well, hey, anything else that we want to talk about. And today is going to fall under the and anything else we want to talk about category. I have a dear friend with me today, Dylan Madsen. Dylan, how you doing today, man?
Yo, what a bees like, Jeff. Thanks for having me on the show today. It's a great day. Definitely is a great day.
100%, man. I've been looking forward to this podcast for a long time, man.
Absolutely.
So, hey, tell the listeners about how we met. I think that will be a fun story for some people.
Funny story. This was a few years back. Both of our daughters are in a dance class over here in York County, the Greater York Dance Academy, and us beating glutton for punishments and doing anything we can possibly do for our little princesses. We decided to go out on stage for a little father-daughter dance in front of the audience, and we got to get to know each other in all the rehearsals. So when we got up there, we looked like seasoned pros with our unorthodox selves, but we managed to put on a really good show. But it was pretty awesome how we all came together, and it's something that my daughter still talks about to this day. And it was funny. And then throughout the process of that, and that was before we even knew who each other was. I know you were doing your law for a long time, and I've kind of relatively new at the real estate, but I came in with a pretty big impact. And then, we start following each other on social media, and the rest is history. Here we are today.
Yeah, man, I remember when we finished that thing, I learned what you did, and I was like, man, I had no idea. You didn't talk about that. We were there for our daughters, and we were there to have fun. And but as soon as it ended, we kind of connected and hung out from there. So, just real quick, I always want to do my disclaimer before we get into the heart of it. So please don't take any advice that you hear from this show or any other show for that matter to constitute legal advice. If you need to seek an attorney, please reach out to an attorney in your area that specializes in whatever it is that you're looking for. This show is meant to inform, entertain, and enlighten, and that's why you should be here. This isn't to provide legal advice, and I don't know that we're going to talk anything about legal advice today, given the fact that I've got Dylan joining me. But Dylan, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do for a living and how you got into it, man?
So, currently I'm a real estate agent. I work with Coldwell Banker Realty. I'm going into my 7th year practicing real estate, but I've put my own little twist on it. Within these 7 years, prior to being in the real estate profession, I was a hip hop artist, and I performed for 16 years under the stage name Madsin. And it was my dream ever since a little kid that I always wanted to be on stage. That's kind of how we did well on the stage, where we did our dancing, putting on a show for people. And that was always what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be an entertainer. I just loved the reaction that I got from the crowd doing what I did. And, they say that the real estate industry is a difficult thing to make it in, but the entertainment industry is a whole completely different animal. So, I was doing that for almost 16 years and just going through the struggles of trying to break that barrier to become a household name in the entertainment industry, putting out album after album, doing show after show, doing whatever I could to get my name out there and making absolutely no money doing it. It started to wear and tear on the financial situation. I mean, we got bills to pay. We're growing up. You got rent or mortgages, car payments, and all that stuff. And I just wasn't making the ends meet. I was lucky enough to find a really beautiful woman who's extremely talented, well-educated, and professional. And she did everything in her power to help back me up with my music career, helping me try to achieve my dream of becoming the next biggest name in the hip hop industry. But after all the doors slamming shut in her face and all the trials and tribulations that we were going through, she came to me and she's like, babe, I think you're extremely talented at what you do, but it's time that we find a realistic goal, something that's going to get you out of this dead end job that you're not happy with. Going to put you in a position where you're in control of your own destiny and you can make it however you want to do, like make it as big as you want to possibly make it. And that's the beauty about real estate. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I said, what's that, babe? What is that? She's like, why don't you put your foot in the door and try some real estate? And I said, real estate, really? And she's like, yeah, just, I know you're great with people. She's like, I know they're going to love hearing what you have to say. You're passionate about anything that you put yourself into. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? And she was right. I was like, what do I got to lose?
Yeah,
So,
man. What a great story.
Yeah, going through the process of getting my license wasn't easy either because I hate tests. I absolutely hate tests. And, and then you go through the classes and then you got to take that test. And the test is brutal. It's brutal. I mean, you got to drive to Harrisburg. They lock you in a little room. You're sitting in there. You have a timer on the bottom screen of your computer. You're not allowed to bring anything in. And then you just got to answer these questions. And my ADHD, the way I am with my anxiety and all the go type A personality, we don't do well with that kind of stuff. But so I would put it out. I failed it 4 times. And it's brutal when you fail. And Harrisburg's only but a 30-minute drive from here. But that drive home after, when you hit that, are you ready to submit your answers? You point, click, and then that big fail comes up on the screen. That's a long 30 minutes home.
Yeah, it sure is. And, man, do you know why? I'm just curious. Do you know why she thought real estate? I mean, just because of your personality and stuff? Like, it's just a neat that she picked that as what she thought you'd be great at. I mean, you are, but man.
She said it was a realistic profession. And it's something she was like that you don't need to go through all the school to do. It's not something that you need. She's like, that's something that people make a career of. And she was good enough to know that it's the electricity of a personality that people get gravitated towards.
Yes.
And she's like, you could do something completely and reinvent the wheel, so to speak, with the way that you are. So, I mean, I took that into consideration, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm making $50,000 a year, working swing shift. This is a hard life, and I can't continue to do this day in and day out, where when you work in the corporate world, they keep you where they want to keep you. If they don't want you to go to the next level, they won't put you there. It's all about the promotions that are given to you are going to allow you to make it to the levels that you want to get to in that industry or whatever it is when you're working for the man, so to speak. And it was just brutal. And I just figured me covered in tattoos. I mean, tattoos, I got the long ponytail. I mean, I wasn't going to change my look because that's what the guys that I worked for at the company said. They're like, you just don't have the image. You're a hard worker. You show up on time. You do the job, but you just don't fit the vision for our company, Dylan. So to put you in a sales position or to put you out there in a way that you can make more money, it just isn't going to work for what we're trying to do, and we're just being real with you, and you should just enjoy where you're at. And, most people will settle for that. They put you into these boxes, and people aren't, willing to take the risks that are involved to get out of that box. They stay in that box. And hopefully that's something that the listeners here on this podcast will gain today. If they're out there listening and they're in some kind of a box and they feel trapped, and they feel like there's a dead end and there's nowhere to go, that maybe my story, maybe the things that we share today, Jeff, will help enlighten them to do something better for themselves. Because if I didn't make that decision, I would still be in that box. And the decision that I made that day to get out of that and into something different, I mean, it was the best thing. It was a funny story. After I got into real estate, I ran into my boss over at John Wright's in Wrightsville. We were having dinner, and it was a nice summer evening, and I saw him, and I went to use the restroom. He followed me in the restroom, and he was like, hey, Dylan, I noticed you were standing over there. I wanted to come in here and see how things were going. Do you miss working for us over here? And I'm like, I miss some of the guys. I miss some of the relationships I had because there were a lot of good people that worked there. But I said, I don't miss the having to answer to somebody every day, because now I'm in a position where the only guy I have to answer to is me. And I said, and I'm doing really well. I said, a lot better than what anybody would have ever expected me to do in this industry. And he's like, well, do you have any regrets? I said, one regret, that I didn't do it sooner. That was my only regret. I said that to him right to his face. And it was like one of those things. He got that stone cold, oh, all right. Well, and I said, well, it was great seeing you. And then the funny thing is, before I left, I ended up taking care of his bill. I told the waiter, I said, whatever, kill him with kindness.
Oh, it's a boss move, dude.
Yeah,
it's
a boss move. I took care of his bill, but it was and I don't really want to do it. I'm not here to brag about where I'm at now. This is all about just saying we're in a position now, I'm in a position where I'm helping out people with their biggest purchases that they'll ever make in life. I'm
Yeah.
helping people not only buy homes, I'm helping sellers sell homes and get top dollars, and I'm helping my friends and clients and colleagues and other people find wealth with investing. And I'm able to provide them the knowledge that I've learned over these last 7 years that's taken me to the top of my field. I just put the post out the other day on social media. Number 9 in North America for units sold. I mean, in my 6th year in the business it was pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Man, it's fun watching you from afar as a friend, man. It's great. We talked a little bit when we had lunch, but to a much lesser extent. But I have that same thing in my industry where I went out on my own. I don't wear suits and ties. I'm in a polo. Or a button down that has my logo on it, and other attorneys look at me and we educate for free. We give our free advice away. I'm not the formal stuffy, and they don't like what's different to them. And, I feel bad for that, but I'm going to be me. I'm like Popeye. I am's what I am.
You am's what you am. And it's people in your industry, Jeff, and the reason why they give you that sort of a treatment is because they feel threatened by you. They'll feel threatened that there's someone coming in there and disrupting it a little bit. But it's not disruptive to the people that you're working with. We work with the public. And in real estate, and I always tell people, real estate is community. Like, it's community. And it's real. It's real. It's not fake. So if I were to come out and talk to people in a suit and a tie, and that was the kind of guy, like, that wouldn't be real for me. How could I be real with somebody giving real advice if I'm dressed up like a stiff, like a penguin, or whatever you want to call it? That would make me a fake-ator, not a realtor. That would take the whole real element out of my profession, and we would just have to replace the real with the fake, and I would be a fake-ator, and I would be practicing fake estate. And I wasn't going to do that. When I got into the business, I said, I'm going to be me. I don't care. And the first company I worked for was trying their hardest to get me to tone it down. They didn't like that I was up on social media doing the yo, what it be's like. This is Dylan Deals, Pennsylvania's Only Dealtor. Like, I came up with my whole persona, watching professional wrestling as a kid, going through those 16 years of trying to make it in the hip hop industry. It's not all about just the music you put out. It's about the character that you're portraying to the people. And, that's what's fun about our job. We're characters. We're all characters. Everybody's got a little something in them that makes them different from the other people around them. And that's the beauty about life, is that we're able to bring that out and share it with the world. So, I was always an electric kind of intense guy, but I always have a good time. I always have a big smile on my face. And I was like, I'm going to come out. And the what it be's like was just something I said as a catchphrase ever since I was a kid. When I answered the phone, yo, what it be's like? How you doing? Yeah, let's go out to the park. Let's play some hoops. Yo, what it be's like? Hey, did you try the chicken? Oh, yeah, Dad, that's what it be's like. Like, it was always like that. And it had nothing to do with the bees that you see all on me now. But as I started selling more real estate, I was like, I got to really come out now. And the people that told me I needed to tone it down, I was like, I'm just going to turn it up. They wanted me to cover the tattoos. They wanted me to cut the hair. They wanted me to, try to be like everybody else. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to keep being me. And people are going to love it for me, love me for it or hate me for it either way. If I make it, great. If not, I have nothing to lose. I felt like I had nothing to lose but everything to gain. And if I felt like, they were going to shut me down, I just go back to doing what I did before. I'll find another way. When one door shuts, you open another door, right, Jeff?
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm curious, is there a story at all behind Pennsylvania's Only Dealtor, or is that just something you came up with?
Well, I was like, everybody says you're a realtor, and I said, yeah, but the realtor I want to be, like, who do you want to be? I said, I want to work that deal. Like, I'm out here to work that deal. And that was the first thing I said. And then I was like, and if that's what I'm going to do, then I might as well just flip the script. And it's only one letter. I'm going to change the R to a D. And I live by it. I have it. You can see it there. It's tattooed on my arm.
Oh, yeah.
And the logo is like a Pennsylvania license plate. So a friend of mine who's also in the industry, he's a loan officer. He gave me the idea, like, well, you should go and see if anybody's ever taken that vanity plate. So nobody did. So I went on the website on Brimmer's and all that in the Pennsylvania, and I ordered the Dealtor tag. So now that's like my license plate. When I roll up, they see the Dealtor, and that's how it started to slowly evolve. And then I was like, well, now it's time to juice it up even more. We got the plate. I got the name, Dylan Deals, the Dealtor. Now let's let them really know what I'm all about. And that's when I put together my first hip hop video that was 100% real estate related. And it was called Work That Deal. And basically it was just showcasing what I do in the business, but with lyrics behind it. And I mean, I could actually rap pretty good, Jeff. I mean, even like here, I'll give the listeners out there a little taste. Just some of the lines that we put out there. Like it was like pop, 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 keys will unlock. Watch me come unlock the front door to your dream house. If you got that credit, trust me, I'll get those keys out. Get you in that crib you've been having all those dreams about. Yeah, from city to suburbs. First time buyers to your well-loved mothers. Even newlywed lovers gonna want that master suite to get up under the covers. Like little like little stuff like that. Would have put a fun play on it, and I would do the Work That Deal, and in the hook I wrap my phone number. Now we did a video to this, and I put it all over social media on Facebook, and I'm not gonna lie, Jeff, it went like insane. It boomed locally. Now, it didn't become like a national viral sensation, but here locally within my market, it was the most talked about thing in our industry. They were like, can you believe what this guy just did? And in return, I had more and more people calling me up just from that song, just from putting my number out there, wanting to know a little bit more about what I could provide them in the real estate world.
Oh man, that's awesome. If somebody was looking to get a hold of you, Dylan, how can they find you on the web, or what's the best number, or how would they go about doing that, man?
I'm all over there, Jeff. They can Google me. I mean, Dylan Madsen. You check that out. It's all there. You could Google the Dealtor. You could Google Dylan Deals, and you'll find enough things over there. My Zillow reviews are all there. I'm on Facebook, so Dylan Madsen or Dylan Deals. You can find me if you search that. Instagram. Snapchat at _Dealtor. I mean, we're on all platforms. That's the beauty about what we do, Jeff. It's like everybody talks about like, how do you promote yourself and what do you do? How much lead generation? What's the money you spend monthly to bring that in? I don't spend anything. The cool thing about social media is it's free and everybody has access to it. I mean, it's right here at your fingertips. So people, the first thing they do in the morning before they even wipe the cold out their eyes when they're laying in bed, they'll flip their phone up because most of them have alarms on their phone and everything else, and then they just start scrolling. And they're looking, they're seeing. So it's important for you, whatever industry you're in. And this is a little nugget for all you listeners out there. It don't matter your industry, whether you're into automobile detailing, whether you're an attorney, if you run a doctor's office, if you're an entertainer, if you're a real estate professional, a loan officer, an inspector, whatever it is, contracting, roofing. You want people to know that you're actively out there. You want people to know that you're good at what you do and you're also approachable and likable, because that's what they're going to do. Like when they see that and it's in their face, they're going to be like, wow, honey, check it out. We need to get a quote on that, or we need to call this out. Look at this ad over here. And next thing you know, that it's just word of mouth. And next you're getting hit up, DM'd, PM'd, whatever you want to call it, private message. They're commenting on your actual post. Hey, I have questions. Could you reach out to me? And then that's when you go and direct message them right away. Like, hey, what's up? I saw you comment on the post. Is there anything I could do to help you out? And next thing you know, then it starts revolving, the wheels start rolling, and before you know it, you're helping that person with whatever it is they needed that made them go on that post and try to get your attention.
You know, it's funny. It's all relative. I have a friend of mine who commented the other day. She's like, man, you are everywhere, Jeff. Like you have podcasts, you're on the video, you pop up my Facebook feed all the time, And I said, I am nothing compared to the Dealtor. Like that man makes me look, I don't know how to be on social media. But it's awesome, man. It's always something to aspire to.
But you got a larger than life personality yourself, Jeff. Every time I'm around you, you got a good energy, and that's what it is. That's the most important thing. Like just being comfortable in your own skin. Like none of us are perfect. We all are flawed in our own ways. And in life, I always tell people there's wins and learns. There are no such things as a loss. The only time it's a loss is when you make a mistake and then you make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, you didn't learn from it.
That's real. So you learn from every one of our mistakes. And I have things I've done in the past that I'm not proud of, but I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't make that mistake and learn from that mistake and know that the second time around, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to continue to grow from each and every lesson that I put myself in. And, when you're like that, and you could tell you've been through a lot of lessons and now you're able to share that with your children, and you've done a
Heck
really good
yeah.
job being a supportive father. I mean, we did that. We went up on stage and were able to make complete fools of ourselves in front of a crowd, but it was fun and people looked at us, and it was actually touching because I know my wife even said that she had goosebumps from it. And a lot of people out there, it's like that energy, because that energy you feel and that you put out there is what gives the people the goosebumps. It's like something that you just can't do unless you've been there, and you could be authentic. So when I look at myself in the mirror every day, I feel like the person staring back at me is my true self. It's
Right.
100% authentic, it's real, and that's the person that, I'm able to put out in front of the people. And it's great. It's well received, and it makes it for just a wonderful, wonderful experience all in all.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that experience back dancing with you was so much fun. Like just being on stage with our girls, and I'll never forget that,
Well,
man.
we'll never
That was
get
cool.
those moments back, Jeff. I
Nah.
mean, they're like little precious times, and even our existence is just a tiny little blip in the whole scheme of things. So that's
Yeah.
my goal, and that's the other thing that everybody out there listening should have is a goal. Always have a goal, and no matter how big or small, just continue to make goals and try to exceed your goals.
Yeah.
And my main goal, like with that being said, is to be the best person I can be the best husband I can be the best real estate professional I can be, everything. So when we leave this planet, our spirit and our energy remains in what we were able to give to the other people that are going to be here to carry on our legacies. So that's where we have that eternal life, so to speak, that everybody seeks. There is no fountain of youth. We're all going to get old and we're all going to wither away. At the end, all we are is dust in the wind. But the things that we do while we're here and how we teach others to carry on our legacies is what's going to make our names live on, and hopefully for a lot longer than a few years or a few decades. Maybe we could do something that we're remembered for an extremely long time. There's great minds and great professionals and people that we still read their books. We
Yeah.
still watch their videos. Words that they said while they were here on this planet, we still listen to, and it touches us deeply.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah, the one thing I've noticed from your podcast and hearing you with other people and things you post is that you definitely are goal driven. I love that, man. I love all the stuff you put out, the tips, the things. I think it's awesome.
Well, if we don't have the goals, and you're just sitting there just going around, just coasting through life, that coasting, that's called stagnant. That's stagnant. And when water becomes stagnant, it starts to smell funny. It starts to grow all kinds of algae and bring in all kinds of deadly and harmful bacterias. But it's the water that just keeps turning. That's just churning. That's fresh. It's like constant. It's just constant. And that's how we are. If you remain stagnant, no goals, you're going to start to smell funny. You're going to start to grow bacterias all over you. But if you keep them juices flowing, and be creative and constantly understand that we're just constantly building this thing. It can't stop growing. And what's it going to become? I don't know. I mean, the glasses, I didn't have the glasses. The what it bees like was something I said, and then it was eventually after closing deals, one of my clients started tagging me with the bee emoji, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like the whole
Yeah.
bee thing, so I'm gonna ride with it. So I started like doing more things, wearing bees on my clothes, on my socks, everything. I was like, well, since I got the tattoos, this is my hand that I write all my contracts with. I call it the stinger. I might as well put a bee right here on the stinger because that's what we're doing when we're writing contracts. We're stinging those deals. So I
Oh, I
did that,
love it.
and I had these glasses. One of my clients had them custom made for me, and now it's become like a trademark. If you look at even my business card photos, I don't leave home without them. They're on all the time, inside, outside, anywhere I go. These shades are on the face of the dealer because I like it just because it reminds me of like Macho Man Randy Savage in a
Randy
way.
Savage. That's who I was thinking of.
It reminds me of that, but it also, when you become big, and you made the comment earlier, Jeff, that other professionals in your industry, they throw shade at you. They look down, they hate on you, they have things to say. Nothing makes those people more uncomfortable when I walk into a room full of other professionals than when I have these shades on. So, you're all decked out, you're looking all good, you're in a fancy event, you're wearing the shades inside, and they're looking at me maybe because this guy's crazy wearing sunglasses inside, or they're just looking at me, oh, there's the dealer, there he is. But regardless, they don't know where I'm looking. So I could be looking anywhere. They can't see where these eyes are looking, and I could see who's side-eyeing, and I'm just taking mental notes. But it upsets the what they're used to. I like to be different. I'll always be different. I'll always continue to create and find new ways to upset the haters, to make my supporters even more intrigued about what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and the day after that.
Oh, I freaking love it, man. That's awesome. So what's the area that you service? Just York, or how do you handle that?
Well, no, I'm Pennsylvania's only dealer, so I will help you in the entire state of Pennsylvania. I mean, I'm trying to spread this vibe, this experience as far as I can. Right now, I'm serving York, Adams, Lancaster, Cumberland, Dauphin, Berks, Bucks, Lebanon. I mean, I've been up as high as Potter County, Perry County. I'll go all over the place just to try to maximize PA. The goal here, Jeff, it's not to get settled. I'm not going to settle. I want to continue to grow that radius. And what us bees like to do, go out and pollinate. I want to pollinate. The more I can pollinate, the more I can bring back to the hive, the more honey I can share. I feel like I have a lot to offer. All of my clients will tell you, like, the services that I provide are stellar. I'm always on point trying to do everything. I don't ever overpromise, but I always overdeliver, because I want to exceed the expectations of the people who I'm dealing with. And awesome. I want to take it as far as we could take it. Let's take it nationally, Jeff. If they allow me to, I'm not stopping.
I love it, man. I love it. I can't wait to go along the journey with you, man. Be along for the ride. That is awesome.
Brother, we're going. Let's do it.
Well, man, is there anything else you want to say to the listeners before we wrap up here?
Man, I know I've said a lot today, and it's always tough. I like when, people will ask me questions, but a lot of the times the main question, and I've done podcasts, and I've lots of podcasts. I've done a lot of public speaking events and rooms as big as 500 people, as small as 10 people, everywhere in between. And I get a lot of similar questions, and a lot of people always ask, like, what is the secret? And the secret is very simple. The secret is to just be yourself. That's it. Amen. Don't try to be anybody else, and be happy and comfortable with yourself. And if there's one takeaway today with all the other craziness that you've heard, that's what I would like each and every person to do. And by doing that, look in the mirror and talk to yourself. We look in the mirror every day at ourselves. And if you see the reflection looking back at you and you're not comfortable with what you see looking back at you, then it's time to make some changes. And if you see what's looking back at you and you're happy about that, then it's time to let's make this even better. Let's make that feeling that you're getting when you see the results and you start seeing what's coming back, the energy you're getting from yourself on your own reflection, to just continue to grow and be a better person, a better professional, a better husband, a better wife, a better father, a better mother, a better friend, anything. Like that's the key to life. We're all in this thing together, and it's all about being the best that you can be with the other best that can be out there, and surround yourself with nothing but that positivity. If there's anything negative in your life, get rid of it. I don't care if it's coming from your own family. If it's negative, you just got to take a step back. Let them know how you feel. Let them know, like, I'm not cool with the negative energy. Come back to me when you rearrange that mindset and you're ready to be positive and you're ready to be uplifting and you're ready to talk about what we can do to improve your current state of mind. And once you do that, whatever your industry is, you're going to see your life just take flight that you never even expected could happen.
I love it. Thank you, man. That was a great time today. I look forward to the next time we can do this. Thank you all for joining the Red Wagon Estate Planning and Elder Law Show, hosted by me, yours truly, Jeffrey Belomo, where we talk all things estate planning and elder law, and, well, hey, anything else we want to talk about. Under the and anything else we want to talk about category, I got joined today with Dylan Madsen, Pennsylvania's Only Dealtor. If you want to check him out, please do so on any social media platform. It won't be hard to find him, I promise you. And he's certainly a lot of fun. So thanks for joining me, my friend. And to all my listeners, I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Have a wonderful day.
Easy, guys.